Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is officially NFL Football Sunday. I have about 3 TVs set up in my living room. I am so excited for the games today. For most of us whose team's season ends as the regular season ends, it is a long off season. Giants are making us wait a little bit longer today as they play the 4:25, the second round of games Eastern time. So we have to wait a little longer, but it's going to be a great matchup, Giants versus Cowboys. If you want to know what to watch for in that ball game, check out my previous video, the top 5 things to watch for in the Giants-Cowboys. Break down a variety of things in that ball game, some things that Giants need to do in order to win, and some of the things that Dallas Cowboys need to do in order to win. I'll leave that link in the description below and in the annotation above if you want to check that out. But today, before all the games kick off, I just want to give a quick preview to that ball game. I'm going to give you my picks for week number 1, and then I want to give some bold predictions in regards to the Giants season this year. So without further ado, let's get right into that. The Giants, as I said, take on the Cowboys at 4:25 today, Eastern time. NFC's rivals, of course. It's always a grudge match. It's always a very toughly contested game. And I believe this one's going to be won and lost in the trenches. Obviously, both teams have a superstar running back, a quarterback that a lot of people have doubts in. Obviously, the Giants much more than Dallas, but it is definitely a game that is headlined by the running backs. Zeke Elliott versus Saquon Barkley. So earlier this week, a guy I mentioned in that top 5 things to watch for video missed a couple practices because of back tightness and illness. That is Mike Remmers. Now, Mike Remmers is going to be 100% for this ball game. He did return to practice fully, so no scares there, but he is going to be up for a fight today. As I mentioned in that video, he is taking on DeMarcus Lawrence, the very dominant pass rush specialist for the Cowboys. So it is essential that Remmers is 100%, and it appears he is. A couple more guys the Giants will be without in today's ball game. Darius Slayton, the rookie wide receiver, and Garrett Dickerson. They will both be out for this ball game, will not be on the field, so that's 2 less receivers. Dickerson, obviously a third-string tight end, not as important. But, of course, we know we're not going to have Golden Tate in this ball game, and now Slayton will be gone as well. Eli's primary targets are obviously going to be Sterling Shepard, Cody Latimer, Russell Shepard, and whoever else we throw out there. But as I mentioned, this is going to be a battle of the running backs. Now, it is key for the Giants to get a victory here, or even make this competitive, is to give Saquon Barkley the ball. Now, on top of giving Saquon the ball, we need to block for him, obviously. I already mentioned Remmers has a very tough task today. But another task the Giants are going to have to focus on is getting to that second level and blocking those secondary tacklers, those linebackers. So getting up to that second level and taking care of Jalen Smith, Sean Lee if he's in the ball game, who is still a dangerous player, and then of course the sensation Leighton Vander Esch. Now on defense, already mentioned it. The biggest threat is going to be Zeke Elliott and slowing him down. Now, he's the backbone of that Dallas offense. It's going to be key for our run stoppers like Dalvin Tomlinson to get in and clog up those rushing lanes. But obviously containing Dak Prescott is also going to be essential in this ballgame. Now, you can say what you want about Dak Prescott's elite status. Is he an elite quarterback? Is he an average quarterback? The fact is he can do both. He can throw the ball and he can run the ball. So it's going to be key to containing him, keeping him in the pocket and putting pressure on him and not letting him escape and getting big yardage downfield using his legs. With all that said, I do believe the Giants are going to shock everyone in week 1 and come out with a big win over a division rival and get the season off to a good start. Now, let's break down the remainder of my picks for week 1. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I took the Green Bay Packers to beat the Chicago Bears in the NFL Kickoff, the season opener. Not in the fashion that I expected. I definitely expected a defensive battle, but I didn't expect such a low-scoring affair with that many punts. Wish I took the under on that. But so yes, I took Green Bay to start off the year 1-0. What I want to do here is kind of keep a tally going. All season long, I want to show you my record, show you where I stand as far as my picks go. So look forward to that each and every week going forward. Now, before I give out my bold predictions, I am going to put a caveat on this. These are bold predictions. It's in the title. I'm not saying these are definitely going to happen or they will even happen remotely. These are just feelings that I have going into the season, bold predictions in regards to the Giants. So before you call me insane, before you call me crazy, just remember they are bold predictions. Now, obviously, expectations for the Giants are very low this season. After selling the farm last year at the midway point, right at that trade deadline, to trading away the face of the team essentially early in the offseason and letting one just walk without a contract offer. There's a lot going on in the background and not a lot of hope for this team going into this year. But to be honest, what I've seen throughout the offseason, we have made some additions in multiple areas of concern for the team that I believe will impact our winning going forward. Bold prediction number 1, the Giants will make the playoffs in 2019. Whoa. Relax. Take it easy. Let me explain. So now, the Giants, from the looks of things, had a very impressive 2019 draft, and whether you like it or not, the trades we made greatly improved areas of concern for years now. Our offensive line finally looks stable, looks like it can hold up 2 more impactful defensive lines, which doesn't only help Eli Manning, but also Saquon Barkley. Now, I'm not saying the Giants will go on another Super Bowl run where we just turn it on during the playoffs and make it all the way and win the big one again. But I do think the Giants can make the playoffs this year. Now, how do they do this? Well, we do have a very tough schedule this year, but a win in Dallas in week 1, as I already mentioned, helps things. Then going to Tampa Bay in week 3 and getting a win there helps. Beating Washington in week 4, Minnesota in week 5, Arizona week 7, Detroit week 8, New York Jets week 10, and then beating Miami in week 15. Then, with it all on the line, we take on the Philadelphia Eagles in week 17, and we win to finish 9-7 and make the wild card. We've shown before that a 9-7 wild card team can go all the way to the Super Bowl. So what happens in the playoffs? Who knows? But it is a possibility, and I do believe the Giants have a chance to make the playoffs in 2019. Bold prediction number 2. By season's end, the Giants will have 6 rookies starting on defense. Now, to begin the year, we already know that there are going to be 2. Now, that is Dexter Lawrence and DeAndre Baker. But beyond them, I truly believe Ryan Connolly, Corey Ballantyne, Julian Love, and O'Shane Ximines will find their way onto the starting defense by season's end. Now, this is definitely heavily contingent upon what the Giants do this season. Some trades might have to occur here, potentially losing might have to occur, but I do believe this is a possibility. Now, Connolly will be playing alongside second-year player Tay Davis, heading up that middle linebacking core. Ballantyne will be with DeAndre Baker, leading our secondary at cornerbacks 1 and 2. Love will either be at slot corner or potentially taking over at safety. And of course, O'Shane will be rushing off the edge. As I said in this bold prediction, a lot of things might have to happen for it to actually come to fruition. Things like either Alec Ogletree going down with injury or getting traded. And then, of course, Janoris Jenkins either getting traded or going down with injury. Now, depending upon how many games the Giants have won going up to the trade deadline, they may or may not be Giants. But it is to be seen at this point. And even if it doesn't happen this season, I believe all these guys at some point in time are going to be starters. Bold prediction number 3, the Giants will have a top 10 offense this season. I know, Eli can't throw the deep ball. Eli's an awful quarterback. Eli was never elite. I know this may sound strange, especially since the Giants traded away one of the most impactful and productive offensive players early in the offseason, obviously in Odell Beckham. But I believe what we got for him actually goes a long way in making this prediction come true. As I've mentioned time and time again, the key to a good offense is a good offensive line, and the Giants have secured that up. So looking beyond the offensive line, starting with Evan Ingram, I've said it time after time in regards to Ingram. When Odell Beckham is not on the field, you see the playmaking ability of Evan Ingram. He's finally getting his numbers because Eli's not constantly forcing the ball to Odell Beckham. I believe this year Ingram will finally break out and show how he is, quite honestly, one of the most talented tight ends in the league. Moving on to other receivers, Sterling Shepard finally going to be able to step out of the shadow of Odell Beckham. He will be Eli's primary target, at least for the first 4 weeks. We all know Golden Tate will serve that suspension, and he is still a great receiver. Don't let his time in Philly tarnish that. He had a rough stint there, but he is still a very capable wide receiver, and that's why the Giants brought him in. Now, I know what you're thinking. You can have all the wide receivers in the world, but if you don't have a quarterback to throw to them, what's it really worth? Well, Eli has the opportunity to reclaim some of his glory this season because we have built such a great offensive line in front of him. Clearly one of the most talented that we've had, at least in the past 5 years. Now, Eli can still make the throws, and he has shown, while given time, to go through his progression, to get his reads, that he is capable of making the throws. I haven't even mentioned our best player on offense yet. Saquon Barkley is also going to greatly benefit from the improvements to the offensive line. He's shown what he can do even without an offensive line last season, but this year, I really believe he can even do even more than he did last year. So those are 3 bold predictions for the Giants in this upcoming season. And before you call me a homer or you call me insane, remember these are bold predictions. Doesn't mean they will come true or even come close to coming true. And I will own that. I'll check in at the end of the year and see if any of these even remotely came true. And that's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope you guys enjoy the games today. I know I will. Upset I have to wait till 4 o'clock to watch the Giants beat the Cowboys, but it is going to be worth the wait. Gonna enjoy the 1 o'clock games. Before the games get going, check out my Madden New York Giants franchise. I'll leave that full playlist in the description below. And also, before the Giants kick off, check out the top 5 things you need to watch for against the Cowboys. But other than that, enjoy your Sunday, guys. It is finally football season. No matter what team you support, we can all rejoice now. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.